live. What's up, everybody? There's no everybody yet, but welcome. I'm getting started. I am Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. And I'll let some people come in. Hopefully some people will come in. We'll see what happens. I'm just starting to get into this. Really, Monday is like my YouTube day. So I drop Gio off at his little program, pick up my shipping, and come home. And at 9 o'clock, I recorded a video from 9 to 9:30. I recorded a video from 9:30 to 10. At 10, I recorded a Reseller Mom Conversations that will go live at a later time. And now at 11, we're doing a live. And then just on Sundays, I do my What Sold Fast. So Sunday, Monday are my YouTube days, and then I don't have to worry about it so much for the rest of the week, which is good. And I can focus on all of the reseller things. So it's a new schedule, but I'm hoping that it works out well. Hello, good morning, Tracy. So I would love it, for this to be a Reseller Mom Q&A. So whether it's getting things done with your kids, fun things that you can do with your kids while reselling, how to make reselling fun with your kids, general time management, or just general reselling questions, or discussions and talking points. It doesn't even have to be a question. But if you want to bring some things with you when you show up, or if you just want to come and hang out, that's cool too. I'm just hoping it's a cool way to have an interaction. So I was doing everything just myself on YouTube, and that's how I started, where it's just me doing tips or whatever. And then now I've started the Reseller Mom Conversation series. So it's me and another person having a conversation, which is awesome. And hopefully people get something out of that. And now this is a way to have multiple people involved in a conversation talking about Reseller Mom topics. And so that's kind of the three areas that I wanted to hit with my channel and just really give a community for reselling moms. So I didn't have anything specific to talk about today, although what I probably should do in the future, just in case no one has any questions, is to bring a topic myself. So I will do that for next time. So I'm going to devote 30 minutes to the live, and hopefully we have, some good interaction. But again, don't feel pressured. If you want to just come and hang out and watch what happens, hopefully something will happen. So I'll just babble for a little bit. But basically, I had a good set of packages go out. Today's Monday. I do a little bit of shipping on Sunday, and then the rest of the shipping from Sunday to Monday today. And I filled up my entire, my pickup thing that I have out in front. I have a link to it on my Amazon store. It's one of those storage benches. So it's like a big bench that you can sit on, and then you lift it up and it's storage inside. And I have that out front, and that way I can put the packages in. The post lady, Heather, can come and pick them up, but they're hidden. And so that's worked really well for me. And if you're considering something like that, or considering wanting to do package pickup from your home, go on my Amazon store. The link is down below, and check that out. Even if you buy it locally and you don't buy it on Amazon, the idea of this storage bench out front is awesome. It's worked really well for me for a while. So I had a good amount of packages going out. I was really thrilled with it. Today is my YouTube day, so I'm going to work on that. And then I'll do some photos a little bit later. And then today is our dog, Malia's birthday. She's 6, so we're doing birthday for Malia later today. First question, do you have any tips on listing quickly? So I have a couple things, I guess. One is I use on my phone if I'm listing on my phone, or on the computer if I'm on the computer, text expanders. And so instead of copying and pasting some of the same things that you may have in a template or whatever, I use the text expanders. I have it scheduled, I think in the next 4 to 6 weeks, a video specifically about all the things that I use text expanders for. I found a few different apps, and I found a few different ones to use on the computer. And for me, that's the biggest time saver, is that when I'm listing, and keep in mind, I do have a virtual assistant that helps me with most of my listings. So I'm not listing the bulk of my items. But when I do list something, I like using the text expanders rather than copying and pasting. I find that it goes a lot easier. I can just put in a quick couple of, letter combinations, and then my whole template populates, or my whole little blurb populates, or, like if I click quotes A, then it will give you the quotes for like inches, and then it will put in armpit to armpit. So having all those little shortcuts really saves a lot of time. And then I split up the way I do, like if I'm going to list something on Poshmark, for example, I upload the photos on my phone and fill out all the fields on my phone, but I don't type the title or description on my phone. I do that on the computer. And for me, that's the most efficient way to list on Poshmark, is to do the photos and because the photos are already on my phone, photos and fields on my phone, save it as the draft, and then pick it up on the computer, fill out the title, fill out the description, utilizing the text expansion software. And to me, that's super quick. Yes, I'm opening it twice, but I'm more quickly and easily able to type on the computer for like the title and description. So those are some things that I like. And then obviously just batch do as much as you can so that you have tons of photos and measurements and everything ready to do. You're not already doing that. And one of the things that I like that I'm pretty sure I've coined is sneaky listing. So if you followed me on Instagram for a while, even before I had, the YouTube channel, I would do sneaky listing. And so because I always had photos on my phone and all the info I needed on my phone, I could list anywhere, anytime. And so I would pull in, like if we were going grocery shopping, and this was mostly when Gio was smaller, because you need him self-contained. And so I would pull into the parking spot, list an item before I even took him out of the car seat. Then we'd do our shopping, whatever. We'd come back, we'd get in the car. Before I pulled out, I put up another listing, because that way you had little drips of listings going live throughout the day, which I think is helpful. And also, I needed him to be contained, and so that I'm not worried about what is he doing. And so when we were in the car and would pull in or pull out was the perfect time. Also, squeaking. Also, I felt like there are wasted minutes in your day where if you utilize them to do your reselling work, you would have more quality minutes with your kids and your family when those minutes are around. So to me, like pulling in and pulling out of the parking spot, I just wasted minutes. Like for 2 minutes, he's not going to be upset that he didn't have quality face-to-face eye contact with me, when I do a listing in and out of the parking spot. But if I'm home and I'm on my phone while he's playing, he's certainly going to be like, why is mom on her phone and not playing with me? That's not to say that I play with him every minute of every day. I do think that it's important for a child to learn patience, and that sometimes you have to finish a task before you do something else. But yeah, so sneaky listing was another way that I got listings done. Hopefully that helped. Next one, first time catching you. How do you keep motivated to list? I love sourcing and even photographing, but actually listing is what I dread. My 4-year-old doesn't like it when I work either. Well, so hi, welcome. Thank you for watching. And, I appreciate you joining me live. I anticipate we're only going to have a few people at a time ever, but I appreciate all of you that took a few minutes to come and check in and say, hey, so it's awesome. And I appreciate it. So for me, listing isn't my favorite thing either. I'm trying to think what my favorite thing to do is. I guess my favorite thing, I like shopping, but I don't really feel drawn to any of these clothes. Like I'm not like, ugh. So for me, I actually like shipping the best. It's like stupid, but I feel like a little Christmas elf, like pack packages. And I, think about who I'm sending them off to, and I like it to be nice. And I don't know, I like shipping the best. It's weird. But I don't really like listing either, but I have a VA. And so really, I do some listings, and I've been trying to do more and more just to amp up productivity. But for a while, when Gio was smaller and I couldn't really devote a lot of time to sourcing and listing and photographing and doing it all, there was only so many minutes I could get out of a work day with having him around with me. Listing was the first thing that I gave away. sharing was the first thing I gave away, but listing was the next thing. And my VA is fantastic. We've gotten into a great rhythm. And so she does it for me. And I think if you can always test out delegating, if you can afford it and if you can stomach it, delegating the thing that you don't like the best, because in general, perhaps it would make you more productive overall and possibly more money overall if you got rid of the thing that you slack on. If you don't want to do it, you put it off, you dread it, and you spent time doing the things that you like the most. Maybe that would help you overall. So it's something to think about. It's not for everyone. So for me, I get motivated by accomplishments and tasks and milestones. So for me, if I put down a goal of I want to do X amount of listings per day, or I want to hit amount of, right now I'm really tracking my average number of listings going up per day and really trying to increase that like on a monthly basis. So milestones and goals and things like that motivate me, not so much the actual listing, the process of it. So for me, it's about trying to tackle and be competitive with myself and hit certain milestones. So maybe that might be something that you can try, setting some realistic but also stretch goals for yourself, or maybe even timing yourself, and just getting a little bit competitive. That might help. And then there's you need to list everything that you bought that day or you can't go buy. I mean, there's a lot of people giving tips about, your death piles and things like that. I, as a reselling mom, don't think death piles are bad. I think that they're good because you never know if you can get out to source one day, if you don't have kids in school or whatever, and your kids are home with you, they could get sick or whatever. You can't go sourcing. So it's nice to have a little bit of a death pile. I try to have at least 2 or 3 weeks worth. Right now, I do not have that. And it is very much giving me anxiety. Like, I don't like it at all, because you just don't know. What if something happens? Like, there's a hurricane tracking out in wherever in the Caribbean that could come through Puerto Rico, boom, come through, Florida, and probably we won't have an issue, but you never know. And I'm like, well, there goes a whole week, because now I will be stuck of listings because we're going to have a hurricane mess me up. Like, you just don't know. So I try to work ahead as much as I can so that you don't have those things that stop you up. And then as far as having the 4-year-old, this is my thing. I just had a recording for the Reseller Momversations. We talked about a little bit. I think the worst time is over for me. Something just popped up. The worst thing is over for me. Like, I think now I should be good. Like, the worst period of time of having a child home with you and reselling, I think, was 1.5 to 2.5 years old. And so now we're kind of in the clear where Gio, like right now, he is obsessed with trains. All he wants to do every waking minute is play with trains and on the floor. And like, he lays on the floor and like plays with like, he's obsessed. So, I mean, he could keep himself busy right now for quite some time with the trains. And then I come in here and I do my photographs, or yesterday I steamed a little bit. I go check on him, and then I go play with him and then I come back. So I try to do on-off time, like 10 minutes, we're in each other's face, playing, having good quality time, doing things, whatever it is. And then I kind of let him do his thing, and I kind of go over here and take a few photos. I will say having the reselling room helps a lot. If you can have a dedicated space that can be set up all the time, that you don't have to set up and break down every time you're doing photos, that's really, really helpful. Because for quite some time, I was wasting a lot of time setting up and taking down every day, and that drove me nuts. So if you're not lucky enough to have a space that's a reselling room or a reselling area, you're going to have to suck it up and set up and break down all of the time. But if you can have your setup and then have your kid playing over there, and they're at the age where they can play themselves a little bit with you in the same room but separately, like, that's the ideal situation. Obviously over nap time and, things like that. I don't know if your 4-year-old naps. Gio still does a little bit. You can get up earlier, of course. I like getting up earlier. I don't like staying up later. That's not for me, but getting up earlier is good. Because the reselling room, this wall is his bedroom on the other side. So I don't usually take photos if I can help it when he's asleep, because I'm always afraid I'm going to wake him up and like knocking around and whatever will mess him up. So I don't usually do that. The other thing I can say, and I want to do more content about this, it's just really hard to figure out how to show it, is Gio likes some of the reselling aspects. Like he loves when I print out labels from my Dymo. Like he's obsessed with watching it and cries if I don't call him in here when I'm printing out labels from the Dymo. Like he gets so upset. He likes looking for the colors of the tags when we're going through Goodwill. He likes seeing me take pictures. He wants to try to take pictures sometimes. Like he wants to do what I'm doing. I try not to let him touch all the clothes that much. Like I just don't want him touching all the clothes because I don't wash everything. So I don't want him touching everything. But, if he, and he loves playing with the packages. Like he loves putting them down the chute at the post office. So if you can find a couple of things that you can string them along with, kind of like a bribe, say like, I'll let you put the stickers on the packages if you let mommy take 5 photos, and you can count them as you do that. Like, I think we want to focus so much on our business. I'm not saying you do this. This is just an opportunity for me to talk about this because I think about it a lot. Like, and it's the reason why I started this channel, is for reselling moms to talk about unique challenges of being a reselling mom. And for those of us with little kids that we do stay home with, those challenges are different than someone who has school age kids that, they're at school. And then you have other things. You're the chauffeur and you have homework time and whatever. So I get it. We all have our own different things. But when you have a little one home with you and you're trying so hard to just get your 20 pictures taken or whatever, and they're like photobombing everything, like it's hard and it's frustrating and you want to be frustrated with them and, yell at them. But if you can make it somehow into a learning experience with just a little bit of your patience, it's all about your tone and it's all about how you present it. You present it like taking pictures of this thing right here. Look at these stripes. Look at these. Like, this is the coolest thing. What colors are here? Like, like you can turn it into anything and Gio eats it up. And I am crazy. So for us, it works where I'm like, get excited about tape. Like when I pull out the eBay tape, that's fun and exciting. Like, he used to love putting the little priority stickers on the boxes when I would send it out. He would love stacking up the boxes and knocking them over. Like there's so many cool things that you can do. And like if the kid's a little bit older, they can learn how to fold and they can learn how to sort and they can identify the colors. And there's so much that you can do. So anyway, I don't mean to be soapboxy about it because I am passionate for whatever reason. I don't know why. About like how to make reselling fun with your kids. So I just struggle with how to show it or present it. But since we had this forum and whatever you said you had a forum, I figured I'd rant about it. So I don't know if any of that helps, but hopefully it does. Hello, Lolly. Tracy, good online websites to source from in bulk amounts. I've tested out a bunch. I just did another couple of liquidations. Those should be coming in a few days. So I've done Macy's liquidation pallets, and there's a bunch of different sites that you can get them from, and they're probably all the same. It probably doesn't matter where you get them from. I honestly don't even remember the first place I bought it from, but there's a difference between buying Macy's liquidation, and I'm saying Macy's because that's what I've done, but there are other kinds of liquidation, Nordstrom, whatever. Buying it from the source and buying it from the third party middleman person. So when you're buying a liquidation pallet from the third party middleman person, they're getting it by the truckload. They're sorting it down into smaller pallets or lots or whatever. And so you're going to pay more per item. So initially when I bought a Macy's pallet, I bought it for like $6 plus per item. That was not good. The second time I bought it from Macy's, and that was good because I got it for $3.30 an item, those particular pallets. There was another set that I did that I can't say where I got it from, and that relationship is no longer happening anymore, unfortunately. But I did get some Macy's plus size for $2.25 an item, and that was amazing. But unfortunately, that's not there anymore. So you can get them in different ways. Then there's liquidations that are auctions. And so you can bid on things, and that could go for any variety of prices. I have learned a bunch of lessons about that. Now I have a bunch of videos on the few liquidations that I've done. And like I said, I just ordered a bunch. And so those should be coming. And then I'll do some unboxings with that. So I don't if you just search liquidation or liquidations auctions or whatever, a whole bunch will come up, and it's such an individual business decision that you just need to see like, how many items are you looking for? Can you accommodate dealing with a pallet? Because that is a whole thing. And what kind of price point do you need? And what types of items are you trying to buy? So there's a bunch out there. All you have to do is a quick Google search for liquidation, and then a whole bunch of options will pop up, and you can just see what's best for you. I mean, I'm starting to formulate what ones I would probably go back to and what ones I won't, but I don't feel like I know enough yet to be like, this is the one or this isn't the one. I will say though, I have a video on, which was it? Quick Lots, and that was no good. Go watch that video. It was an awful box. So yes, that's that. Thank you for the answers. I've been full-time at home now since January, and it has been a struggle. I believe it. I have always worked full-time and getting into routine. So, and I'm going to do a video a little bit more on routine. I just find every time I get a routine, there's some reason why it changes. And I think part of that is because Gio is still little, and there's so many things that affect our life, like diapers versus being potty trained. When their baby's sleeping through the night versus not sleeping through the night, taking naps, not taking naps. I mean, I'm on borrowed time as far as naps go. He's going to be 4 in December, and he still naps for at least an hour and a half, till sometimes 3 hours. Every once in a while, 3 hours, where it used to be 3 hours all the time. So like that, all of that stuff like completely changes. Plus, like, he is in a little part-time school now, 3 days a week during the normal school time period. But over the summer, he was only in 2 days a week. So I had to rearrange my thing for that, and then I had to rearrange it back again. So the routine always changes. So I can't feel like I ever can speak to it like with any, like this is how I do it, because it's always changing. I think the best thing is to just be really good at identifying what must happen and find, even if it's not a scheduled time, but a type of time in which that happens. So like for me, I used to get up at 4 a.m. Now I've really cut back, and I'm only getting up at 5 a.m. I have till 7 a.m. before anybody's up. Now, right now I'm going and doing freaking HIIT classes to try to get my butt in shape, so I lose even more work time because I'm farting around at the gym, which to me is whatever. But, so there's that. So there's, where are the portions and the periods of time that you can allocate the things that must be done? You must take pictures, or you must source things, you must take pictures, you must list things, and you must ship things. So when in your day is that happening? And even though it doesn't have to be a specific set time, I have a real hard time scheduling things. That's why it's taken me a long time to be able to set a live schedule, because I didn't feel like I could devote a time and be regular at it. But now I can, for the most part. So like, I know that I don't like taking photos when he's napping or when he's sleeping at night, but I can take some photos when he's up and when he's playing. So when he's up and playing well, I pop in here and take photos. Even if I only get 3 photos, 3 items done, 5 items done, 10 items done, whatever, I know that when he's up being good and playing, it's photo time. I know that when he is sleeping, I can hop on the computer in the kitchen and get the drafts going, get the listings live. I like to upload the photos on my phone, so I could do that when I'm laying down watching TV at night once he's asleep and I'm half brain dead, because all I'm doing is uploading photos. In the morning, I have to go to the storage unit in order to ship, because that's where my items are. So for me, I have to do that. I can do that with Gio, but I prefer not to. It goes faster without him. So on the weekends, I do it with him, but during the week, I don't. And so in the morning, I go there at 6:30 in the morning, get all my items, come back. It takes me no more than 30 minutes, if that. Prep my labels. He gets to watch the labels print out. And while he's eating breakfast and playing in the morning before school, I'm packing up my packages, because I can do shipping while he's awake. So I think it's just identifying the types of time that you have and the types of tasks that you have to get done, and trying to find matches. And like, don't underestimate. I posted on this on Instagram. Don't underestimate doing things while they're in the bath. Like I fold laundry when he's in the bath. I remove items from inventory when he's in the bath. If I'm taking something out of inventory, I have to take it out of the plastic bag, take out the thank you card, decide what I'm going to do with it. So I do that. I label my bags. When I have to label my bags, I label my bags while he's any like busy work. I do that when he's in the bath because he's in there playing and splashing up a storm or FaceTiming with my mom usually. And I can sit there on the toilet and do whatever I need to do that's busy work. So it's just being like a puzzle piece put her together, basically. So hopefully that helps. Sorry, I ramble. I wish I'd get my 13-year-old daughter to want to help me in any way in my reselling business, but she doesn't like to shop or anything. Well, you could pay her. I'm sure she wants things of her own, and you can always pay her for a little bit. My mom had small businesses. She was a teacher, but she did things on the side. And for a while, she required me to help her do things. And then after time, she did, pay me a little bit to do things. So you can make it, a chore that she can earn money for. You could make it a requirement. So if she wants to have her sleepover, she wants to do her activity or whatever, you could make it a requirement. Like I said, same with when they're little, it's all about how you present it. And if you go into it, and again, I don't have a 13-year-old girl, and thank God I shouldn't ever have a 13-year-old girl, since I have a 4-year-old boy. And that sounds scary. I don't want a 13-year-old girl, but it's how you present it. If you already kind of know that she's not into it, you could, do the Gestapo thing and rope her into it. Or, maybe you can say, hey, I've got $20. Can you go pick out the coolest things at this thrift store? I mean, use her knowledge. I mean, she's potentially going to be a Poshmark buyer in the future. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming, but if there's a way to make the reselling not just a business, but a lifestyle with you and your kids, I think that is where it's easiest. I can't say that everybody can master that. I don't even think I've mastered that, but I do think that if you could, that would be awesome, because your kids would have an appreciation, even if they don't show it now, for what you're doing, that you're an entrepreneur or whatever. And they may learn different things from it. And if anything, they just, are a part of it with you because you require it or because they can earn money. And you never know. So hopefully you can find something that she's into. Maybe you can let her have her own little closet. I don't know. Or section in your closet. If you sell on Poshmark. I don't even know if you sell on Poshmark. I feel like I'm not really a reseller mom because my children are college age, but stay at home, but I'm a caretaker for my mom, so my time is limited other ways. And that's fine too. And I mean, that's great that you care for your mom. I'm sure at some point I will be dealing with that. How old am I? I'm 36, so my mom is 66. So she's young, but I'm sure it's going to happen. So yeah, I mean, whatever your demands on your time are, I think you could get something out of this. For me, when I started reselling, I just didn't feel like there was anybody speaking to those unique challenges. And so that's why I really wanted to do the Reseller Mom show, and why I'm so happy to have this kind of interaction, or the Reseller Momversation series, or the comments that I get, because there's now a talk about it. And I don't think I even have the best tips out there on YouTube, but I think that I have unique tips for people that happen to find themselves in a situation where there's time demands, or there's a little squirt running around, or what I'm finding out for school age kids. Cause here I am dreaming about the days where Gio will be in school 5 days a week and all what I could get accomplished during those 5 days. But then I find out, well, yeah, then he's going to come home and he's going to have homework, and then he's going to have soccer, or he's going to have karate, or he's going to have, spelling bee, or I don't know what the heck he's going to do. But, there's going to be all these things. You're going to be driving. You're going to be sitting there watching. You're going to have friends that want to come over and eat all your food, or I don't know what. So, everyone's going to have different demands for what season they are in their life. But if you find yourself pressed for time, everything that I do is about saving time or more efficiently making more money, or just trying to find your sanity. I wish I could do more videos on the finding your sanity part. I haven't maybe found it yet. So let's see what else we have here. I work full time, but I take her to all of her doctor's appointments. So I use that time to share and list, but also keep a small tote of small items that I can photograph in my car. Well, there you go. That's actually really good. I wonder how that goes. That's awesome. You could photograph items when you're like, in the trunk, put the white thing down and then photograph the item. That's actually a perfect, probably flat lay. That's amazing. I never thought of that. You got your daylight, bam, good. But yeah, I mean, when you're at doctor's appointments, that's the same if someone has, a child with special needs, and you find yourselves going to a lot of doctor's appointments, or if you're someone that has a chronic illness and you find yourself at doctor's appointments waiting for doctors. So yeah, I mean, I think the stuff that happens here at the Reseller Mom Show with the tips that I get from you when you share them, or, the tips that I share, it's all about just trying to get more done when you have other demands on your time, whatever they are. So welcome. It's totally fine if your kids aren't little. It's just what my, season is right now. So having I did a whole video on having a storage unit. It was a long one, and it was like everything that I could think of when it comes to the pros and cons of having a storage unit and things to think about. So if you're not sure, or if you just want to get some tips and tricks, I would check that video out if you haven't already. I like it and I don't like it. I had one that was, okay, that's my 30 minutes. We're going to get going. So then I got to pick up Gio. I had one that was like 10, 15 minutes down the road, and that one was super challenging. Now the one that I have is like 4 minutes down the road, and it's a dream because I can be there in less than 5 minutes. I can get home in less than 5 minutes. So that's amazing. And I go usually super early in the morning before anybody's up. So I don't most of the time have to take Gio with me. Your items are separated from you. So when you used to just be able to go and get another measurement, or double check the color, or check a flaw, or when someone asks you a question, now I can't do that. Now I will say, I don't really care that much, because most of the time who's calling me? Most of the time those jokers don't buy anyway. And sometimes they buy because the measurement doesn't work, or the answer you gave rules out your item. So it's not like they just disappear, but a lot of them just disappear. So I don't even care that I don't make those sales anymore. It's not that big of a deal, but it is frustrating sometimes when you realize there's an error and you can't go fix it right away, and you kind of have to remember. So I make a list. So when I go and I pull my items, now I also have to remember to check like my issue list and see what issues. Like today, apparently I listed something and I thought it was a dress, but really it's a skirt, I was told. So I've got to rephoto that, because I have it like on Amy, my half mannequin, like up here, like it's a strapless tube top dress, and apparently it's a skirt. So I couldn't fix that right away. So I had to go pull it this morning, and today I'll refix it, hopefully today, and fix that listing. So it does put a delay in things. But it is nice because your house is not overrun with stuff. It definitely saved my marriage to have this storage unit. My husband was getting a little crazy with my ever-growing inventory. And now it's all there. And that's, it's not my office. It's not where I do my work, but it's a place where I can go, where my reseller things happen. And I have it set up exactly how I want it. And it is costly to get all your shelving and all your bins and all that stuff anyway, but perhaps you have that anyway, and you're just moving it there. I don't know. But for me, I had to invest in all of that. I finally bought my last shelf. So there's no more shelves that can go in there. It is at full capacity. And so I don't have to spend any more money on shelves. And that's amazing. So yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to it. But if you haven't seen that video, I would check it out, because I put my whole, like everything I could think of was like a total brain dump on storage units. Oh, so yeah, when she's in dance, list away, share away, do all your stuff while you can while she's in dance. That's perfect. That would be great. And that's the thing too, I'm kind of anticipating for Gio when he gets into some kind of activity or whatever, there'll be a little bit of that time too. So built, I don't know what I don't know, the like belts, ties, or etc. She's an amputee. I don't know where that goes to. Sorry. Same for me, no kids, but full-time job and elderly parent. I've learned a lot about efficiency and time-saving processes from this channel. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Since that's not my season in life, I never really thought of that as a thing, but maybe I will make mention of it from time to time because, I thought about it too. Like, what if there's a reselling stay-at-home dad? Like, is he going to watch my channel or is he not? Because I say that I'm for reselling moms. I just felt like if I didn't say it was for reselling moms, we wouldn't have permission to be reselling moms. And so that's what I'm going through. And I wanted to be authentic to that, but that's a great point. Good morning. So I'm going to try to keep these lives on Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to try to do them only till about for 30 minutes. So right now we're at 35. So I'm going to wrap it up because I need to go get Geo and I want to just make sure that there's a couple things done before I go do that. But I appreciate everyone that's joined me. It looks like we've had at the most about 9 people. So in the grand scheme of lives, if you've ever watched a Rally Roots live, they have like 800 people. So I can never expect it to be like that. And I'm cool with it. I'm fine with a smaller channel of reselling moms or similar minded people that want to get more done, want to make more money, and want to stay sane while raising kids and reselling online. That's what it's all about. And I hope you have gotten something from this. We talked about a lot of different things. Next time, I'll definitely have, hi, Amy. Next time I'll bring a couple of points too that, to go over. But I just really wanted it to be like from you that I just talk about because there's so many things that I couldn't even think of. I think of a lot of crazy video ideas, but there's more that would come from you that we could all talk about, which would be great. So anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great day, a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.